loss to Rhode Island, a game that you guys kept battling back and getting within a couple of scores and not quite able to get over the hump. But just give me your view on what happened on Saturday.
Yeah, Rhode Island, really good football team, and better than us on Saturday. Going into the game, we felt like we really needed to be physical, fight harder for longer than them, and make plays down the field. And we were unable to do those three things. They did them better than we did, and a lot of credit to Jim and his staff. They're well coached. They play hard. They got some playmakers. Um, we in open space and we really struggled against those guys, really getting them on the ground defensively. Our perimeter support and leverage and tackling led to some explosive plays. And I think maybe there were 5 total explosive plays. The number wasn't huge, but 3 of them were very impactful. And they did a really good job against us defensively. We were unable to really sustain drives like we needed to. And just didn't have enough opportunities with the ball to try to battle our way back. But proud of our guys, the way we fought in the second half. I think we came out, played better in the second half, tried to get ourselves back in the football game. DJ Hamilton with a big punt return, making it a 10-point game, and you got a shot right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jim's got a really good team, and they played well. They're tough out.
How big you guys get down 24-3? Talk about the impact of DJ's play. I wanted to ask you about that in a second, but you also got the touchdown there to Isaiah Furman right before the half to get it back to a manageable game, a 10-point game at that time. Did you feel like going into half that despite some of the struggles that you were right where you could be in striking distance?
Yeah, that was big. To win like the middle 8, around the halftime is important. And so for us to get the stop defensively, get the ball back, and be able to punch it in, now you got to come out of the half. You get a stop there, and that can be a 14-point swing. So we ended up holding them to a field goal coming out of the half. So that helped us, and that made it a football game. I think we did come out playing harder, playing better in the second half. It just wasn't enough to dig our way out of that hole. And the punt return by DJ was real big. We just weren't able to follow that up with a stop.
We've talked about DJ a lot from a defensive standpoint because he certainly had a great year defensively for you too. Just talk about his value both as a defender and as a return guy like that.
Yeah, DJ's a great football player, and recruiting him out of high school, he's from Mallard Creek here in North Carolina. And when I went and watched him practice like live, like he was the best football player on the field, and offensively and defensively. So he's talented. He can run, he can catch. He's a great ball carrier, very talented defender. So he's a all around real talented football player.
Question for you this morning from Bob. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, guys. Tony, I want to ask about Jason Singer and just kind of the impact he's made in the few months you've had him, and just what's the challenge of kind of getting the guy who's played lacrosse for 4 years ready to suit up?
Yeah, Jason Singer's a great story, guys. He he won a national championship at Cornell playing lacrosse, was the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year last spring, and was an outstanding linebacker in high school, an all-state player. I think Sayreville is where he's from in Long Island, and hadn't played football for 4 years. And we were very thin going into the spring at linebacker with the departure of 2 of our starters to FBS programs. So, we were excited to bring Jason in, and he's done a great job getting used to playing linebacker again. His impact for us has really been on special teams. He's on just about every one of our special teams units. He can run and hit. He's physical. He has really good spatial awareness of what's around him. So, he hasn't really played A lot of linebacker snaps for us. We've really been rolling with two linebackers most of the season, with Asher Cunningham and Brody Carroll, and sprinkling Carter Wyatt in there a little bit, Wade Gullickson. So he really hasn't got a lot of burn at linebacker, but he's really made an impact on our team, playing on those special teams units. He's mature, he's tough, he's a good athlete and great competitor.
I know you had to kind of obviously get him up to speed with everything in a short amount of time, but I guess someone who's got a championship background that kind of helps in that manner. Is that the case?
Absolutely, Bob. Like, yes and yes. Wish we would have had him for spring, but he was a little busy winning a national championship and beating Maryland for an NCAA championship in lacrosse. Yeah, I think if we had him in the spring and got him a little bit further along in what we do defensively, would have really helped him and us.
Great. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Bob.
Tony, without Landon there for the second half, what's his status? And then how did you feel like Marco performed there in the second half?
Yeah, Marco, proud of him for stepping up and coming in the second half. We when we came out of the half, Landon just didn't feel like he could really drive the football, and so yeah, Marco got him cranked up and proud of the job he did getting out there, moved the ball down the field for us, got us some points. Um, so it's valuable experience for him and be able to get him going some.
Another big afternoon from Kamari Brown. Two more sacks, eight now for the season, which I believe is the second most in Elon history. Just talk about the impact he's been able to have up front for you this season.
Yeah, Kamari, man, he's all ball, and he's a terrific athlete and competitor, and always working to improve his game. But when he gets off the ball, he's got speed and power and a great motor. So proud of him and the job he did. Those some big sacks he got for us on Saturday, and yeah, I think in our Division One era, I believe he's maybe tied the that season sack number. So expect him to get some more sacks here in the next couple of weeks and stand alone atop that category.
Your team heads on the road Saturday, short trip over to Bowie's Creek to face a Campbell team that certainly the record is not great, but lost a ton of close games. As you started to dive in and look at them, what are some of the challenges they present for you?
Yeah, I think Braxton's doing a great job building that program. Uh, Really, they're getting better as the season has progressed and got into conference play. Even though they're on a three-game slide, I mean, they've taken the lead into the fourth quarter in all three of those games.
Yeah.
So, they're uh, they're learning to play together, and they're learning how to win. So I think they're really good. He's doing a really good job, and they're a good football team, and we're going to have to play well on Saturday.
From as a defensive guy, when with a guy like Mike Chandler in there that sometimes lines up at quarterback, sometimes he's at running back, sometimes he's a receiver. How challenging is that for your defensive guys to try to stay sound when you face a guy like that?
Yeah, Chandler, he's like a Swiss Army knife, so they can do a lot of different things with him. Um, so we need to know when he's in the game and what potential formations we might see with him in the game, and if him and Camden Six Killer are on the field at the same time, what that might look like.
Mm-hmm.
So um, we've got our work cut out for us to make sure we game plan, those personnel groups correctly with our schemes. But I think, the quarterback, Camden, Six Killer, I mean, he's developed some chemistry with Randall King and then Lopes and Eunice Wilcox. Both of those guys have also stepped up and been productive. So I think that, they're getting more comfortable with who they are offensively and doing a good job.
All right, Tony.